Welcome to An Idiot's Guide to Filmmaking. This is not a guide for idiots, but by an idiot. Now, essentially, filmmaking, like a story, is composed of three parts: a beginning, a middle, and an end, or in this case, pre-production, production, and post-production. Some movies like those by Terrence Malick or Koyaanisqatsi. They muddle that process up a little bit, choosing to shoot first and write later. But usually it's a pretty straightforward progression: pre-production, production, post-production. So let's begin with the very first part of the very first phase, pre-production, and that is coming up with an idea. Where do you begin? Now, you hear a lot of people saying something like, I have this great idea for a movie and I just don't know where to begin. Well, you already have. That's where every movie, every story starts: an idea or a concept. Now, a great movie can certainly originate from a great character, a line, a visual image.
It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
Anything, really. But I would argue that a single basic concept is a very good way to start, because you know that your entire movie is going to be cohesive and based on a simple original idea. Nothing's really original, but I'll get into that later. As an example, movies can oftentimes be reverse processed back into a basic idea. Groundhog Day, for example, is the story of a guy who wakes up every morning on the same day.
Didn't we do this yesterday?
Children of Men is the story of a world in which people have stopped having babies.
100 years from now, there won't be one sound to look at any of this. What keeps you going?
The Proposal. A man is forced to marry his boss so that she can immigrate into the US.
You're getting married.
Who is getting married?
You and I are getting married.
These are all basic ideas, but the moment I hear them, I'm hooked, because my mind immediately begins racing through all of the possibilities of where that could go. Now, a good way to think about this is to ask, what if? Or wouldn't it be crazy if? You can just imagine writers thinking to themselves, what if a guy went back in time and met his own mom when he was younger?
You're my mom.
My name is Lorraine.
Or wouldn't it be crazy if there were
Snakes on this plane! Everybody strap in!
My first short film was based on a simple concept. What if two defectors from opposing armies decided to travel together to escape the war? Once you have that concept, you can go anywhere with it. That film could have been based on any soldiers in any war in any era, but at least you have a good concept and a springboard from which to write your story. So where do great concepts come from? Well, no one really knows. Sorry. But you can encourage your mind to come up with concepts by reading news stories, looking at paintings, going on hikes, literally anything. But once your brain says, hey, here's an idea, grab onto it, write it down, develop it, figure out what's at its core, and there you've got your spark. Now, if you're stumped for ideas, look no further than your own personal life. You can get so much out of looking at specific things or locations or people in your life and just asking, what if? For example, I grew up in the country of Mozambique, which was a Portuguese colony. I could ask, what if a Portuguese colonizer stayed behind after the country was liberated? That could be an interesting historical drama. Now I work for a video production company. Wouldn't it be crazy if a production director was asked to film an event and it turned out to be the scene of a murder? Well, there you've got an interesting psychological thriller, or maybe a dark comedy. My point is, this may seem like a silly exercise, but putting all the options on the table and allowing yourself to ask what if can be a liberating and surprisingly productive experience. Also, don't try to squeeze too many ideas into a single story, especially if it's a short film. This is a mistake I think I made in making my second short film. I'm still really proud of it, but there were so many ideas that I was trying to explore that I think it ultimately detracted from the overall message. Keep it simple, stupid. Finally, if you're worried about originality, don't sweat it. Don't be afraid to borrow. Just make sure to find your own spin on the story. The Groundhog Day idea has been used a bunch of times, all to varying effect.
You see, this isn't the first time. Now, we've had this conversation.
I'm freaking out. I'm butt naked. I'm 20 blocks from the hotel, and I keep repeating the same hour over and over again.
I don't know who bombed the train.
Then try again.
Wait, no.
So, what do you think?
It's the same train, but it's different.
A movie doesn't have to be completely original to be good, and probably won't be. Just put the time and effort into making it your own, and that's all you need. I'll link in the description to a couple of short films that I think did this very well. So that's it for today. Join me next time when I talk about screenwriting, and let me know how you come up with your concepts. And stay sharp.